Tom and Zandria pray for humility. From the time Tom was a child, he knew exactly what he wanted to be as an adult, a doctor. He loved to practice on his animals by bandaging up his dog's legs as if they were injured. He appreciated their patience. He even helped his friends' animals when they seemed sick. He studied all the courses in high school that would get him on the doctor's path. This was his goal in life, to help the sick. One day, Tom went on a house call for his friend Pete. Pete's house took him to a remote city about an hour away. To get there, he had to travel across a bridge and onto a road not usually traveled. It was worth the trip, as Pete had a miniature pony ready to give birth. When Tom found out the mare was pregnant, he told Pete to call him when the time came, and he would do what he could to get there. When the call from Pete came, Tom was not at home. Pete left a message on Tom's answering machine. When Tom heard the message, he dropped everything and left to go witness the birth. He did not call Pete to verify that he received the message. Tom was driving faster than what he normally would drive. As he was getting ready to cross the bridge, he took a drink of his soda. Out of the corner of his eye, he could see a small animal scamper on the bridge in front of him. Startled, Tom swerved and went down the embankment next to the bridge. His old truck rolled over a few times, and Tom was thrown from the vehicle as it landed on his legs. When he gained consciousness, it was dark outside. At first, he did not know where he was. He did know he was in a great deal of pain and could not move. His memory started to come back to him. He was on his way to Pete's house. Pete's miniature pony was about to give birth. He remembers driving quickly, then swerving and tumbling around and around. That was all he remembered. It was pitch black outside. He could faintly hear a stream flowing near him, and he could hear some animals around him. These sounds gave him a little bit of some bearings on where he was. Then he lost consciousness again. Pete expected to see Tom show up in his old pickup truck and was surprised when he never did. He called Tom to let him know his miniature pony gave birth to a healthy foal, but again, he could only leave a message. This seemed odd to Pete, but he figured Tom was busy with other things. When he woke for a second time, it was hot and sunny out. Tom was parched. Hearing the stream was difficult for him to listen to as his mouth was dry. He tried to move from under the truck, but the pain was too excruciating. He wished he had the soda he was drinking. He tried to call out for help, but his voice was weak and there was nobody around. He felt fear for the first time. How was he going to get out of this? Surely Pete would know he never showed up, but he remembered he never called Pete to let him know he was coming. How would anyone know where he is? The sun was brutally burning Tom's face. He had no idea how long he was there. He was following the sun and watching it get ready to set again. He could only think about what he should have done or could have done. He thought about his parents and how he moved out of their home last year to go to junior college. He was on track to prepare him for medical school. He wished he was there with them now. He thought about his plans for the future. He had so many dreams and hopes of helping people. They seemed so far away from him now. His reality was so different than what he thought it would be. Then anger set in. He started yelling and crying. He cursed everyone he could, including God. Then he lost consciousness again. When he woke up, the sun was starting to come up. He could see the colors of the sky change from an indigo blue that faded into a light sky blue. Tom felt a peace come over him as he watched the beautiful natural occurrence. He surrendered his anger and let the divine feeling come over him. Tom said out loud, "I'm not ready to go, but if you decide it is time, then so be it. I feel like there is more for me to do, and if I make it out of this okay, I promise I will devote myself to your service." Less than 30 seconds after Tom made this statement, he heard someone whistling. He almost could not believe his ears. He called out for help, and a transient man came out of the bushes. The man calmly walked over to him. He had a canteen filled with water that he helped Tom drink from. Tom was asking for him to go and get help, and the man calmly replied that help was already coming. Tom noticed this man looked like a transient, but his face and hands were soft and clean. He had a calming effect that made Tom feel like he was going to make it. Tom cried. The man said he had to go, but not to worry because help was coming. He left his canteen with Tom, then started walking away. Tom hoped this man would stay with him, but felt like everything was going to be all right. Tom closed his eyes, then realized he never thanked the man. When he opened his eyes, the man was nowhere to be found. Tom was puzzled. How could he leave so fast? The only thing he could do was yell out, "Thank you," and hope the man heard him. Within 20 minutes of the man leaving, Tom heard someone calling his name. It was Pete. Tom called out to him and told him to get help. After going back and calling for help, Pete came down to where Tom was. He made his way down to the bottom of the ravine and was shocked to see his good friend lying with the truck on top of him. Pete shaded the sun from Tom's eyes as Tom cried happy tears to see his friend. Tom asked Pete if the transient man was there. Pete said he never saw a man, and that he was tending to the miniature foal and thought about Tom. He had this urge to go and find Tom since he still not had heard from him in 2.5 days. Pete knew this was not like his friend. As Pete was crossing the bridge, he saw something shiny coming from where Tom crashed. He followed a trail to the edge of the ravine when he called out Tom's name. When Tom told Pete of the man who gave him the water and told him help was on the way, Pete was skeptical. There was no sign of any men around, no footprints in the dirt around Tom, except Pete's. The only evidence that Tom had was a metal canteen the man left. When Pete looked closer at it, he noticed there was a cross engraved into the canteen. After 6 months of rehabilitation and recovery, Tom was able to start walking. It had been a long road of healing, but he remembered the promise he made if he survived. He had a change of heart about his career. He no longer desired to become a doctor. Tom now felt the calling to be a pastor and changed his course of study as he went through his recovery. He never knew who the transient man was that helped him that day. No one ever came forward. The only thing he had to prove it happened was his canteen, which he will never part with. Tom believes divine intervention graced him that day and brought Pete to his rescue. Pete was there every step of the way for Tom throughout his recovery.